Hi guys, happy Friday. Okay, we are going to do our last day of our packet. So we're going to get into our math, then we'll go back to reading and writing and then virtual learning. So we will start with our math tasks for day 14. So today we're still working with equations and expressions, and we're going to see whether they're equal, and we're going to decide if it's true or false. So let's just look at A here. It says 4 times 5 equals 20. So we need to decide, is that true or is that false? So what I did was I made models. So I have 4 groups, and inside of each group is 5 x's. So that represents my 4 and my 5. So I'm going to count 5, 10, 15, 20. So I know 4 times 5 is 20. So I am going to write true, and you could just write T if that would make it easier. So that one was pretty simple compared to, we're going to look at E really quick. We're going to skip over. And it says 2 times 3 times 4. So remember, this is the associative property where we have 3 factors, but we're only going to look at 2 at a time. So, and then it says equals 8 times 3. So we're not even going to look at this side of the equation. We're just going to focus on 2 times 3 times 4. So I have 3 groups, and I have 4 x's in each group. So that would be 3 times 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. So I know I have 12, but then I'm not done. So I'm going to take 12 times 2. So I'm going to put 12 in my head, and I'm going to add 12 more. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I'm going to write in this box down here equals 24. So now I can look at this side of the equation. So I know this side equals 24. So in order to make this true, this side must equal 24 as well. So let's check. So what I did was I did 3 groups, and inside each group are 8 x's. So I'm going to start here. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I know that this side equals 24 and this side equals 24, and it is saying it is equal. So this would be true. In order for it to be false, this side would equal 24, and this side would have to be a different number. But because they're the same, it makes this equation true. Okay, so now let's look at F. So F is 8 times 6 equals 7 times 6 plus 6. So all we're going to do is, remember, we look at one side of the equation at a time so that we don't get confused. So I'm just going to look at 8 times 6. So I'm going to make 8 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And inside each box, I'm going to put 6 x's to represent my 6. So I have 6 inside of each. So now all I have to do is add all of these up to see what 8 times 6 equals. So I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. So I'm going to keep track. Over here I'm going to write that this side equals 48. Now, since I'm done with this side, I'm going to look over on this side. So as you can tell, we have 3 factors, but we also have multiplication and addition. So all I'm going to do is look at this part first. So I'm just going to look at 7 times 6. So I need 7 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to move this one to the side for now. And inside each of these 7 boxes, I need 6 x's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So I know that this part of 7 times 6 equals 42. Then they want you to add 6 more. So I could do 42 plus 6, so 42 in my head, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, which would be the same as adding in another box. So I know that this whole side equals 48. So it is saying they are equal, so I know this equation is true because this side equals 48 as well as this side. Okay, so now let's go back to C. So C is saying 3 times 6 equals 9 times 2. So all I'm going to do is look at one side of the equation at a time so I don't get confused. So I'm only going to look at 3 times 6. So I made 3 circles and I put 6 x's in each. So now all I have to do is count them up to figure out how much they equal. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I know that this side, 3 times 6 equals 18. So now I'm going to look at 9 times 2 by itself. So I did 2 groups and I put 9 x's in each. So I have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I know this side also equals 18. So 18 equals 18. So this equation would be true. Okay, so let's look at G. We have 4 times 10 plus 2 equals 40 plus 2. So I can just, let's start with this side. So I need to figure out my parentheses. So what is 10 plus 2? So 10 plus 2, 10, 11, 12. So really I'm multiplying 4 times 12. Let's write this out so we don't get confused. So really I'm just doing 4 times 12 because 10 plus 2 equals 12. So I made 4 groups and I put 12 x's in each group. So now all I have to do is add up those x's. So I know this is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. So I know this side of the equation equals 48. So now I can just look at the other side of the equation, and I know 40 plus 2, so I can put 40 in my head, 41, 42. So if we can see, this side would equal 42. Are 48 and 42 the same number? They are not, so we shouldn't use an equal sign. So this actually is false because they do not equal each other once we do the math. Okay, and let's move on to our last part. So we're going to do D and H. So D, we have 5 times x equals 10 times 4. So remember, we're going to do one side of the equation at a time so we don't get confused. So we're going to do 5 times 8, and 5s are easy to do skip count, so we're going to put 8 fingers up and just skip count by 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So I know this side of the equation equals 40. Now let's come over here to do 10 times 4. So I'm going to put 4 fingers up and I'm going to count by 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So I know this side equals 40, this side equals 40, and the middle is an equal sign, so they should be equal, so I know this equation is true. And our last one here is 6 times 9 equals 5 times 10. So remember, we're only looking at one side at a time, so we're just going to focus on 6 times 9. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups, and I put 9 x's in each group. So we're going to count 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. So I know 6 times 9 equals 54. Now I'm going to come over here and look at 5 times 10. So I'm going to put 5 fingers up and I'm going to skip count by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So I know 5 times 10 equals 50. So it's saying 54 equals 50. Now that can't be true because they have to be the same number. So this equation is false. Okay, and then it says sometimes in order to solve a problem, you need to do more than one step or use more than one operation. So here's an example. So what we're going to start focusing on are 2-step math problems. So you might have to do one step and then do a follow-up equation as well. So it says Gustavo bought some tools at the hardware store. He bought 5 tools for $6 each and 1 tool for $7. How much did he spend altogether? So you can draw it out, but what they're saying is you have to figure out how much he spent. So I know he bought 5 tools for $6 each, so I can do 5 times 6. And I know he would spend 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. But that's not all he bought at the hardware store. So they're saying you can't just do one step and not finish it. So I need to figure out how much total. So I know already he spent $30. But then he bought another tool for $7. So how much did he spend? I have to do another equation, our second step, and add 7, which would take me to $37. So we're going to work on two-step equations. These are really similar to what we see in the SBAC, so we're going to take it pretty slow just so we don't get confused. So it says write an equation with a letter for the unknown, then solve. So all we're going to do, remember we said we use a variable to represent what we don't know. So it says Whitney went to the hobby store. She bought 3 model airplanes for $4 each. She received $8 in change. How much money did she need to start with? So it says step 1, we're going to figure out how much money did she need. So I need to figure out what she spent and how much she got in change. So we need to know how much money she needed. So first things first, we're going to say, okay, if she's going to buy 3 model airplanes, we know each, which remember each is that word that tells us to multiply. We're going to say 3 times 4. So I'm going to put 4 fingers up and count 3 on each finger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I know she needed $12. And I know she got $8 change. So in order to figure out how much she walked in the store with, I'm going to say, okay, well, she had to at least have $12. I know she got $8 change, so I wonder what she paid with both of those numbers coming together. So if I put 12 in my head and I add 8, I could say 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, so I know she came in the store with $20. That is what she started with, because in order to get $8 back, if she's spending 12, we needed to add those together to see. Okay, so we're going to do number 2. It says, grandmother picked 4 times as many apples as pears. What is the difference in the number of apples and pears if she picked 8 pears? So we need to look at this. So whenever she buys apples, or whenever she picks 1 pear, she's going to pick 4 times as many apples. So however many pears we have, in order to find apples, we're always going to multiply by 4. So if she bought 1 pear, she would have times 4, she would have 4 apples. So this is going to be my equation I'm going to use. So I'm going to say 4 times and then whatever number of pears. So I have over here 4 times, and then it says, what is the difference in the number of apples and pears if she picked 8 pears? So I'm going to fill in my 8 pears so I can figure out, okay, let me figure out how many apples she picked first. So using my equation and my formula, I'm going to say 4 times 8, and in my head, I know my math facts, so I know 4 times 8 equals 32 apples. So I know using my formula, she picked 32 apples that day. And it says, remember we're doing two-step math equations, so you can't just do this one part of the equation. We need to take those 32 apples and we have to do something with them. So I'm going to bring these 32 apples down here, and it says, what is the difference in the number of apples and pears? So I know that keyword difference if I were using my keyword chart on my desk. I know difference means I'm going to subtract in the number of apples and pears. So I know she picked 32 apples minus how many pears did she pick? She picked 8 pears. So 32 minus 8, if I put 32 in my head and subtract 8, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. She picked 24 apples. That would be the difference. Okay, guys, so just remember, this is the formula you're going to use, and don't forget it's a two-step math problem. So when you find how many apples, you have to figure out, they want to know what's the difference. How many more apples did she pick than pears? Okay? Now we're going to move on to our math fluency for the day. So we are going to subtract multi-digit numbers. So we have 137 minus 85, and for any strategy, we're just going to use the standard algorithm. So just like we do in class, we're going to go place value by place value, and we're going to start in the ones place with the smallest. So we could do 7 minus 5 equals, put 7 fingers up, take away 5. I know I have 2 left, and I'm going to move to the tens place. 3 minus 8, remember we can't do it because 3 is smaller, so I have to go next door and I knock on the door. Hello, 100. Can I borrow 1 from you? And he's so nice. He always says, sure. So my 100 becomes 000, and that 100 I'm going to borrow goes back to the 10th place. And when I break it up, I have 1 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. and I'm going to add that 10 with the 3 I already have, so I have 13 tens, minus 8 equals 13, take away 8, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and I have 0 minus nothing equals 0, and I don't need to put my 0 in because 0 is a placeholder and there is no place value in front of the hundreds. So my answer would be 52. So then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to subtract. So I have my 100 block, my 30, and then I have my 7 ones. Now, then I have 80 over here, and should have my 5. So let's add those in. Oh, actually, no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm left with 2 ones. And then I'm going to come to the tens place, and I have to subtract 8 from the 3. So remember, I can't do that, so I have to borrow from this 100. So I'm going to take this 100 and I'm going to split it apart into 10 of these. So I'm going to do that, and then I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to do, there's 6, but I need 4 more because I need 10. 2, 3, 4. So let's see if that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now that I have this, what I'm going to do is I am going to subtract. I'm going to get rid of 8 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I am left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So I'm left with 52. Okay? So then you're going to write a story. So there were 137 prizes. 85 students were given a prize. How many prizes were left? So I know I had 137, 85 are gone. So how many were left? I would know to subtract. Then it says, how do you know your answer is correct? So remember, you're going to do the inverse. So normally we've been working on multiplication, but the opposite of subtraction is addition. So we're going to add these two place value by place value. So 2 plus 5 is 7. And then 8 plus 5 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I know it is 137, which was my starting number, so I know my answer is correct. Okay, guys, that is it for your math for today. It looks like you're reading. You guys are going to do footnotes, so we're working on footnotes. So it says, why are footnotes so important? So remember we talked about footnotes when we talked about features of text. So this is another feature of text that gives you more information on the story. So footnotes provide you more information or details that might be something that you don't expect or that you don't know or something you might need more background on. So when writers are writing their stories, a lot of times they're set in a time that you might not remember. So if it's a time from long ago, like the 1800s, or if this is like a different place, as it is in this story, they're visiting Alaska, which we don't live in Alaska, so there might be a lot of things that we don't know about and a lot of terms they might use. So, for example, one of the words was Eskimo, which we might not be used to because we don't live in an Arctic location. So what they do is they explain it in better detail down at the bottom to give us more background or to explain something they anticipate or they know that we might not know. So that's why footnotes are important to us, because they give us more information that we might not already know. Okay, so the last thing you're going to do for your writing is you're going to write a letter. And today it's write a letter to a person who is still working. So like the police are still working, doctors are still working, grocery store employees, food servers, different people like that. And we're going to thank them for their service. So you're going to put dear whoever. Maybe you want to write to a police officer. So dear police officer, whoever you're writing to. Remember, it's important during the greeting to tell who you're writing to so we know who it's going to. It's important to write the date because remember, you're keeping these letters and you want to be able to remember when this was from. And then you're not going to indent because this is a letter versus a paragraph where we don't need formal writing. So you can just start writing. Thank you for your service, and maybe tell them what you appreciate about them, how you appreciate them protecting your family, different things like that. So remember to complete that message, but you don't have to indent. And then once you're done writing, you don't have to go all the way to the bottom. You're going to do your ending. So this is where you're signing off, yours truly, and it's important to write your name so they know who you are. So I'm going to write Miss Hazdovac. And that is it for your packet for the week. Don't worry about day 15. Because we started a day late, there should be an extra work. If you guys want to do that, you can, but you're not expected to because you did have that Monday off. If you are doing the virtual learning, we are on Thursday. Even though it's Friday, remember we had that Monday off. They want you to listen to the Read Aloud Stella Luna on Storyline Online, and then you can choose an article to read for your independent reading. For your journal, they want you to go to your journal prompt, so that would be day 4. It says, research bats online. Write an informative paragraph based on the information that you learned. So this goes with Stella Luna because they're writing about bats and you're reading about it. So this would be information. So remember, this is SS Lightbulb, and you guys give your reasons with your explanation. I will have in Google Classroom an assignment. You guys can do a Google slideshow plugging in your information for the informational, similar to the one we did the first week for opinion. So that'll be on Google Classroom. The last thing they want you to do is your virtual learning. Your gratitude journal. So your topic is, which school subjects are the hardest for you? What strategies do you do that helps you? So maybe it's math, or maybe it's PE, maybe it's one subject. So really open up about which subjects are hardest for you. Tell us why. What do you do that helps you get better? Maybe you do like self-talk. Maybe you do something that's a little bit easier for you. And that is it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. You guys can comment. Don't forget about the math to make sure that you are looking at both sides of the equation. Okay, guys. Bye. I hope you have a good weekend.